Masters and guests, good evening. My name is Saleh Rajab. I am the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. I would like to thank you all for coming. Please note that we will not have any clapping during the meeting for any speaker. May I ask all of you to stand up, please? We will have 2 minutes of silence. First minute will be for His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Thank you. Now we will have 1 minute silence for our beloved friend, distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Gulati. Thank you. You may have a seat now. In 2017, I visited Dubai Toastmaster Club, and a gentleman there, he greeted me warmly. I told him about my fear of public speaking. He told me, no worries, Saleh. With patience and involvement, things will be better. That was Deepak Gulati advice for me. On last April 26, I done a speech for him. The title was Deeply Appreciated. And I took that video and I sent it to him in his WhatsApp. He immediately replied to me, you did great, Saleh. I wish I could be of a regular support for you. And many thanks for remembering me for this special speech. Keep doing it, brother, to achieve and shine. It is an incredible journey. Thank you, Deepak. You will be always my biggest inspiration. Rest in peace, brother. Now I would like to call our club president, Toastmaster Sagar Kurana, to take over the stage.
Thank you, Saleh. Good evening, everyone. Friends, family, Toastmasters. Good evening. I know it's very hard day for all of us. We gather together. This is my first time that I have to conduct this meeting as I joined Toastmasters in 2019. First year, I was not very close to DTM Deepak. But from last 2 years, he was one of the best friends. I still remember I got a chance to participate in DTC club events, competitions. So many mentors of DTC informed me and advised me to participate because you came here to improve your public speaking skills. So I took participation in Congress speech and luckily I got second. I did not prepare anything, it was all natural. And after the speech, I was preparing for area competition. My mentor is Alifia Sura, so I was sitting with her in Festival City in coffee shop, and there Deepak comes to meet us. I show him my script. So he take my script and hit here like this and said, "This is bullshit." Then Alifia hold my hand and said, "Don't worry, Sagar, it's okay." I said, "But hit here my script." Then Deepak said, "Stand and go. Go to home, make one more script, and then come. Tomorrow we'll meet again. You go. Me and Alifia will sit here." I said, "Okay." I went to home. I thought I will not participate now. I was so like angry, you can say I was sad. But again, Alifia told me in night, "Don't lose hope, Sagar. You are very easygoing. You always laugh. You make people laugh. Just write. It's a matter of 5-10 minutes. You can write." So next day morning, I went to office, and in between lunchtime, I write, and I saw that Deepak is calling me. So I was feared of taking his call. I thought he will shout again that until now you did not give me the script. I cut his call 2 times. I thought I will say I am busy in office. Then he put me a message. "I'm waiting for you." Then I call him back. He said, "You have 2 hours, 5 o'clock. We will be there again, Festival City, and I need the script." So after 20 years in school, I never read anything. And I never prepare for any exams. I was very easygoing. So that was the first time I write a script by honesty, by determination. He was very happy that I took a step at least. Anyhow, luckily I got first position in area. So that's how my first interaction happened with Deepak. And there are a lot of memories with Deepak. I know we make a group that is called Secret Group. I'm sharing today with a lot of people today because I never shared with anyone. Only few people of nearby knows me. So there is a secret group in which Deepak was there and 2, 3 or more members were there. So we used to go everyone house on birthday, surprise birthday, gift parties. And the best part is that I'm from hotel background and Deepak loves to make food. He loves cooking. He was very fond of cooking. So I still remember last January he came to my home, 10th January 2020. It was my birthday. He came to my home evening and it was a surprise for them. He bring a lot of things like balloons and this blooper, so many things. And he stand in my kitchen and said, "You will not make the dessert," to my wife. And my wife and Deepak made the gajar ka halwa, carrot kheer. So that was my last interaction with him when he came. And after that, I came to know when he told me this serious thing that he's suffering from. So I did not believe that time. I got a chance to speak to him last week when I was in India, but I was not able to meet him because he was having appointment in hospitals. I know you all people are having more experience than me with him, but all I can say, I have from last 10 to 15 years, I have never seen in my family or close family or that this tragic happen and how it feels. After 10 years, now I came to know how a person feels when your close by goes. I saw when VP put the message, I was shocked. I know it's going to be happen, but still it happened very early. We thought he's a fighter. Adil, VP, all people call him Virat Kohli of our club. So I thought he's a fighter, he will come back and a miracle will happen with him. He was suffering from so much pain from last few days. So other side, it's good also at least. Now he's relieved from that serious pain. I know from doctor backgrounds, you know how chemotherapy works. It's very difficult to live with that. pain and then smile. Whenever you speak to Deepak, whenever you speak to Deepak, he will never say that he is feeling any pain. He always supports you, he always smile, he will message you in some time, but he will never ignore you. That is, I know as a friend of him. I know Deepak, you are here and you will always be here with us in our hearts, in our soul. I don't know where you are, but whenever we will be there with you, we will meet again. Thank you from my side. I hand over to DTM with the email.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sagar and Toastmaster Saleh. And thanks to the Dubai Toastmasters Club for arranging this event. And thanks to all of you for being here with us today. We have a lot of Deepak's friends and family on Zoom also here. Now, when you have so much to say, I don't know where to start. Yeah. So, I mean, death is inevitable. We all have faced that with our loved ones, and one day we will face that too. But certain people who passed away in the near future, in recent past, that has touched me very, very badly. One is my mom, who passed away in 2015, and then one of my sister who passed away due to cancer, and another friend who passed away during COVID, and now Deepak. So I know Deepak from the day he joined Dubai Toastmasters Club, and we became associated with each other as Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters. And then we became friends, good friends, and then we became business partners. And actually, Deepak to me was more than all of this. At some stage, he was that younger brother who I never had, because I have 4 elder sisters and I never had a brother. So somehow, he fit into that, and I was happy to have him in that space. Even, at some point, and he wanted to do so much. And that's one of the reasons he quit Emirates and he decided to be an entrepreneur. And when he spoke to me and Uma about his vision for himself and what all he wanted to do, that's when we decided to form that Yellow Balcony Events company together, which is an event management company. And Deepak really brought in a lot of creativity into that business to start that business. And unfortunately, COVID stuck, and market dynamics changed, and we had to discontinue that business. And that's when Deepak decided to look at India as an option to go there and start something on his own there. I met him in the hospital a few days back last week when I was there. He was not well. He had become very frail. His body was kind of not supporting him, although mentally he was still fighting hard. He was in a lot of pain too. Yeah. And but there was never any. Deepak is somebody who never gives up, and that remained till the end. His spirit was always very, very high. He fought very hard against this disease. In fact, during his treatment is when he actually, I don't know how many of you have seen, he built his own website. So I used to tell him that give it to somebody, who will do it for you. He said, no, I'll do it myself. And he worked and built an amazing website, actually. That's such a beautiful website that he created. And he could never sit quiet. I mean, he was always a very active person. So like I was telling somebody, normal was boring for Deepak. He was that abnormal character, normal was very, very boring for him. Super energetic, as we all know. I mean, we have seen his energy levels in different ways. And always wanted to give his best. He always wanted to be creative. He always wanted to be different. Yeah, so even the smallest of tasks, he will spend hours thinking how to do it differently. In fact, many of our Dubai Toastmaster Club members, after the session in Al Futtaim Training Center, we would stand outside and speak for till midnight sometimes, or go out and have a chai after the meeting. And he was always like, "Chalo chai pine jate, chalo," it was fun. And when we go out, and he was a foodie, he loved to experiment with restaurants, he loved to experiment with food, and
I've just removed him.
whenever, so because of his knowledge and his passion for food and restaurants, whenever I had some guest and I needed a restaurant, he was the first person I would call. Deepak, tell me which restaurant to go to. I remember my 50th birthday a couple of years back. So my wife, I don't know, for a change, she decided to give a surprise party. So since it had never happened, I never expected anything like that, because it was always like towards the evening, we will cut a cake, she'll bring a cake and we'll cut. That was what we used to do. But I didn't know that she'd been working for almost 3-4 months before the birthday to give me the surprise party. And on that day, so I also was relaxing at home. I thought, in the evening, we will have a cake cutting and stuff like that, and maybe go out for dinner. Deepak called me around 6 o'clock. He said, "Kya kar raha hai?" I said, "Nothing. Well, come, let's go for a drink." And that used to be very regular between us, regular, between me and Deepak. So I told him what he said, "Let's go home." So I said, "You're coming home?" He said, "Yes, let's go home." And when I entered the house, everybody was there. And yeah. He was passionate about many things. So, for example, like I said, he wanted to create his own website. He loved gadgets. So I don't know, you must have seen him walking around with that gimbal. When he bought that, he went crazy recording stuff, and he used to do good stuff, editing videos and making flyers and doing these creative things. He never wanted others to do it. He wanted to put his ideas and do it all the time. So like I said, he always wanted to be very, very different. I have so many things to say, but I know there are lots of people here who want to speak about him here as well as online, and share your experience with him and pay your respects to him. So I just want to say in conclusion that he was an amazing person. He was one of a kind. And you all have had different experiences with him. For me, he was that younger brother whom I never had from my own mom. And he loved his family, his wife, his son. He was crazy about his son. You must have seen the tattoo, his son's photo on his hand. Yeah, he was crazy about his son. And he had so much of plans for his son, And whenever his son would not be well, I could see the stress that he would go through. Yeah. So, great friend, great family man, husband, son. I mean, he was his parents' only son. He has a sister. And the sad part is all this happened in front of them. So his parents, he was with his parents in Faridabad since the beginning of last year when he started treatment there. So everything was happening in front of them, and that's very painful for any parent to see this happening. But his wife Jaya has been very, very strong. She's been managing stuff so well. I sometimes get amazed. So she was working, she was frequently going to India to be with Deepak, taking care of her son's studies, the work. I mean, there's so much on her plate, and she handled it very, very well. And Deepak never let anybody down because he was fighting his battle mentally. Yeah. Finally, body couldn't cope up with it. The disease proved out to be stronger, and he had to let go. But I'm happy that in one way he's out of that pain. He's at peace, and he's definitely in heaven, and he's definitely making heaven a better place. Yeah, he must have already started flirting with the angels there. Yeah, he must be enjoying some amazing food and drinks there. And wherever he goes, I mean, whichever world he is in, he's making that place a better place. And he will continue to stay in our hearts always. I don't know how long I will be in this world, but till I am alive, Deepak will always be with me. So I just thank him for all the joy and all the memories that he has given me in the short period. Thank you, Deepak. We will now keep the session open for people to speak. So we'll just go 5-5. So we'll take 5 from here first and then 5 from online. And then again 5 from here. So I would like to first invite Toastmaster International past president DT Mohammed Murad to come and say a few words first, and then we'll keep it open for the audience to speak. Well, come here because the online people will be able to listen only if the speaker is here.
Good evening. Deepak, a member of the Dubai Toastmasters, a member of Toastmasters, a member of Dubai, a member of United Arab Emirates. And a member of the board. I also knew Deepak since he first joined Toastmasters. He left a dent with each and every member that he met. He left a dent in each and every meeting that he came to. With his liveliness, joy, and the want for perfection. And I think he lived the life of perfection through his illness. That's a true Toastmaster and a true individual. He certainly left a dent when he left us, but he will still leave a dent when we remember him and we try to imitate him through his love for life and his persistence, perseverance, and everlasting memory that will stay with me. I'm sure will stay with many of you. He will always be remembered as someone who injected happiness in people. I remember the Deepak he was chairing. It's unforgettable. And he will always be remembered. You have seen me for the first time with sadness, but it's the thought that we need to live our lives with the happiness that he lived. And this occasion is not for sadness to come, although we will feel it in our heart, but it is for us to live the rest of our lives in happiness like he wanted to live. He will always remain in our hearts. We will always remember. Thank you.
I'm keeping the floor open, so anybody, I would like some of our senior members who knew him very well to come forward first, Adil, and then Ramesh, and Sandeep, of course.
Good evening to all those masters. Deepak means the light, and he was the one who actually lived his life to the full of his name. There is a saying in English, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. He was the one who taught me that this is a perfect proverb, you can say. He was tough. He was tough to the greatest of its extent. He was the one who taught me that never to lose hopes, howsoever the circumstances and situations are against you. I have seen him struggling when he took that big jump of his life by leaving his corporate multinational job, and he started his own organization and new venture. Both of us joined Toastmaster. In fact, Dubai Toastmaster Club, we both of us joined 10 or 12 years back. And later on, we started knowing each other by way of meeting personally in the Toastmasters meeting, and later on, even professionally as well. We were together in many of the Toastmasters meeting. We were together in Malaysia. We were together in DTM, Abu Dhabi. All of us, me, Deepak, VP Menon, Umar Radhakrishnan, Sandeep, Shaira, we all spent a great time over there. In fact, we were together when we chartered this club called as both Blue Ocean Toastmasters Club, and he was of such a great help, not only to individuals who have joined Toastmasters, but he was the one who was, you can say, the back behind both Toastmasters Club. Later on, I got to work with him and his wife very closely when they have entrusted me with their personal, you can say, financial plannings and all those things. He has also entrusted me with so many things in regards with what next to be done when things goes wrong. I was the one who was doing it from the day one when this cancer, this particular issue has came to his life. He has, in spite of having so much of a trouble, he never lost his vision. He was still motivated. I still remember the last day when he closed his new ventures office and we both were sitting in one of the coffee shop when it's a Philly in Al-Nahda area. And he actually cried on that day, saying, "Me, Adil, this today is the last day. I have started this company, that yellow balcony, and I have come today after cancellation of the documentation, and today I have cancelled my company." And I said, "Deepak, don't worry. When you want to have a long jump, you need to step back 2 steps back so that you can go ahead." I tried to motivate him to the best of my ability. Deepak has gone through a very, very tough time professionally, and after this pandemic, he was in a bad shape in regards to his profession, but he never lost hope. Personal life, you all know he was in a real trouble. And in fact, I wanted to ask him to do some small signature on some of his document, but then he was not having an energy to do it. And he said, "Adil, I will get back to you soon whenever I'm in the best of my shape." I've just expanded this word Deepak by way of this DEEPAK, Deepak Gulati. The DJEP's enthusiastic, energetic person we all know as Deepak Gulati has gone at underage to Lord Almighty to train and inspire people up in the heaven. He will not sit silent over there as well. Words cannot describe the grief of this young man who was full of life. We all miss you, Deepak. We all miss you. You are our rock star. You were our Virat Kohli, which I used to call him. So I miss you, Deepak. Thank you.
Good evening, all. I knew Deepak even before Toastmasters. Both of us used to work with Emirates, and we had some common friends. Deepak lived his life in perfection in every aspect of life. He wanted to give the best and get the best out of everything. So be it in Toastmasters, any role, anything he does, or more importantly, in life, to get the best out of life. For the last few months, since I got to know about his condition, a thought did occur to me. Maybe he had some premonition that his life is going to be short and get the best out of it. And each and every situation, he got the best out of it. He get the maximum out of it. BP said that Deepak will surely be in heaven. But for me, wherever Deepak was, he made it a heaven. He made it a place where everybody was happy. And everybody who encountered him had that spark coming out of him. And a little bit of that spark used to get attached to us. Going through the last year of cancer, it's not easy. I've seen a few cases, and it really tests your endurance. It tests your spirit. People who would normally say cheerful, energetic, enthusiastic, being positive, are tested by cancer. I did chat with him a few weeks back. And still he said, "Ramesh, I'm hanging on. Everything will be fine." And he always had that in him. Get the best out of everything. There is a bit of, from my side, I would say there is a bit of sadness only from my side. a lot of happiness that I had an opportunity to be around a soul like Deepak. We just have to keep remembering the memories he gave us and pick up the learnings. Quite often, all of us forget to get the best out of life. We are involved in too many things, life just passes by. He showed us we cannot make life pass by. Every moment has to be an event. Every moment has to be nourished, enjoyed, and get the best out of it. To that extent, Deepak has never gone anywhere. He lives in our hearts. He lives in those beautiful memories he gave us. Thank you very much, Deepak, for being a part of my life. Thank you.
As we said a few minutes ago, it's hard to figure out where to start this song. Obviously, things are very, it's probably one of the hardest impromptu speech of my life. And I think when I follow the three animals, I think life is a big deal, and you know what I mean by that. And cancer is even bigger. I lost my mom in 2013 because of cancer, and how tough can something like that be, and how tough it is to lose someone in that process as well. And Deepak was the only second person who was close to me who passed away because of that, and it was that disease very similar. It's not an age to sort of lose people as well. You sort of have always this thing in your mind that, a friend will be around you, when you're 60s or you're 70s, you'll see these wickets falling in front of your eyes. Until then, you'll be like, carrying everyone along with you that you live through. And I think this was indeed a very horrid shock. Obviously, seeing him go through it and begin news of him. If you look back at the years that I spent with Lee again, started 2010. The gentleman back in the room, Khushru, who was then the weekly manager of the White House Masters Club, and myself, Deepak, which we were sort of, the fresh batchmates were to the White House Masters Club, and we formed very quickly a sort of a small group within us, the newbies being guided by the old, and we sort of found solace in each other, the journey that we actually went through. Over the years, obviously, the first impression that you have of Deepak when you see him for the first time, his first few acts in Toastmasters, you're like, what a drama karta hai. You think that, his energetic, zest for life can get a little misleading at the start. But it's only when you actually realize, that that's how he is as a person. That's his very nature, the fact that he wants to live every moment, he wants to make the most of every opportunity. And I think that's something that was immense fun, because he just lived that moment, lived that life, lived everything that came along the way. We did a lot of things together, especially this thing, being fresh batchmates, we sort of obviously had a lot of things we discussed with each other, and a lot of things that we actually met, all of us. We were sort of that batchmate, we always kept talking about how we can improve, what we can do differently, and Deepak Sagar was always ahead of the game. I remember still this one meeting that I had where we do a general evaluator role. You sort of have this big, 5-sheet sort of pages and pages of what you've written about the meeting. And there was this one meeting where Deepak was the general evaluator, and he kept furiously typing stuff on his laptop. And and then we called the general manager and stated there comes Deepak, giving us this mighty, amazing looking presentation on the general manager role, and everybody was like blown away, saying, "Wow, this is unique. This is impressive." I think that's what he did with every single thing that he pursued. The champion showed up was one of his biggest dreams, and when he initially discussed the idea with me and another I was like, "You're crazy, you don't even think about stuff like that, and get these people forever." But he lived that dream every single day. He lived that moment. He's like, "I want to make this possible." And his passion got people together. It was one of the most memorable events I went to, not in those classes. It was amazing being a part of it as well. But the very fact that he pulled off something like that, the very fact he pulled off something like a DTAC, I think was one of the most memorable ones we had there. And even for that DTAC, I was waiting for him to give me that call, and he finishes all of his, his core roles. And one day he called me, "Sandeep, I want to be a part of the team." And I'm like, "Sorry, we are there to win. You have been here for so long." And he was like, "No, I want to do the chief sergeant role." And what do you think about these sergeant roles? They always have the sergeant sort of is the most sort of less valued role in Toastmasters. And I'm like, "Okay, fine. It's like a debutant role as such." And I said, "Shanti, you're insisting and he kept telling it to me, "This is amazing, you'll do this, you'll do that. This is mind blowing, you'll learn a lot," and everything else. And it was true. It was true. I by far got the opportunity to lead the biggest team every time. I learned so much of managing people in the process, and we worked so closely in making that a huge success. And if you look back, everything started with his vision. That DTAC, that champion showdown, that small role in a Toastmasters meeting. He used to envision it. He used to have this need of creating something different and then be perfect at it. And I think that's something which is important in people of us who have and the fact that he was different and he was perfect at being different and consistent in being different. I was having a chat with Usman Saran also on the way of January, and I think ever since the news came across during the COVID, your mind sort of stops working. Sort of every time you're taking that little break, every time your mind is at a little bit of rest, you're thinking, how can something like this happen? Your memories start coming back and everything starts coming back together. And I think what we in Ambushwit agreed was that the reason of coming here today is to grieve and to meet people who have the same grievance about losing such a fine gentleman and having those many memories with him. And I think there could be no other way just to come here and get it all out. And I'm not too sure whether this will be enough. And his memories will never be forgotten. And what he's done for me as an individual, for us as Toastmasters, for us as a community, will always be deep in our hearts. And Dhruv, wherever you are, we love you and we miss you like crazy. And see you on the other side.
When Sandeep, you speak, I'm reminded of the midnight or maybe after midnight party that we once had to celebrate your birthday in Abu Dhabi during the Abu Dhabi DTAC. Yeah. I would now like to go online and request Uma to speak. Uma is someone who knew Deepak very well. In fact, we were partners together in a business. And she was also there recently to meet him. She could also meet him recently. Uma, are you there?
Yes, VP, I'm here.
Can you just test your sound, Uma?
Testing. Can you hear me? Testing.
Yeah.
Testing.
Yes. Fine. Go ahead, Uma.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I haven't attended a meeting in quite some time, and this doesn't seem to be a very nice occasion to come and speak either. Because today when Sagar sent across the flyer for this condolence meeting, that is when the finality of this actually struck me, to see that end date next to the date of birth. And then we know that, okay, now that's done. Because when you talk about Deepak, it is like he was a boy with a box of crayons, whatever he used to do it with so much passion, so much enthusiasm. And he had to color within the lines, outside the lines, you name it. Like VP mentioned, he wanted to make it different. And he put in so much energy and so much enthusiasm, verve into whatever he did. And I'm telling you, all those people present here, all of them have only good things to talk about him. He was one of those people, people say that some people do not have enemies. This boy is one of them. And I've often wondered, even RK also used to mention, that boy is actually the demeanor and the way he presents himself, everything goes to show that he has got that backing. Where does it come from? And I got to know that firsthand when I visited him. RK and I had visited him on the 13th in the hospital. The poor boy was doubled over in pain. He's not looking at you straight. He's bent forward. He cannot sit down. He cannot lie down. But yet, when we came and don't sit on that chair is rickety. You either sit on that chair or on this bed. He is more concerned about our well-being, and he is actually in so much pain. And he has a beautiful, beautiful family backing him. All those cousins, his uncles' children, nephews, nieces, you name it, even a classmate from kindergarten onwards at his beck and call in the hospital. Deepak does not even have to say anything, just when he does this, quickly they come to him. They do what is required to be done, not even raising the voice a bit. Deepak didn't have to, because he was so tuned into what he wanted. And that is because Deepak was that kind of a person. What can I say? We called some people spark plugs, right? He was a spark plug to everybody around him. I mean, we joined and we met in Toastmasters. We became friends, as VP mentioned. We became colleagues. We started the company together, and the fun we had at work, because it was all fun events, right? The way we used to have fun, incredible. In fact, when I was with Jaya and his niece and nephew, I was telling them as to how we used to do. And in fact, now hear this, there was a wedding recently in his family, and who do you think drove the motorbike instead of the horseback? They came on a motorbike, and they were narrating this to me. Deepak was the one who was on the motorbike riding it, while the groom sat behind. I mean, that was and he even managed to pull off a team building event at that 1 month ago. We are talking about when you are in excruciating pain. I don't think anybody else has that in them to do this. He actually stared death in the eye. I don't even want to use the word, but he did stare it in the eye, because he went on his terms. He did not want to be ventilated. He did not want any infusions in him. And he said, now's the time to leave. I have to leave. That is the kind of life that people should be living. And even though it could be a sacrilege, I'm saying God made a mistake right here. My friends, I think he really made a mistake. That's all from me. Thank you, VP.
Thanks, Uma. I see one of our Dubai Toastmasters senior members who's now in India, Ashok Kera, online. Ashok, are you there? Ashok? Okay, I don't know if he's there. Anyway, we'll have him speak later. So what I will now do is, I hate to say this, but then looking at the time and the number of people who would like to speak. Nothing. Nothing is there? Okay. So we'll let Nadine speak, but I would like to request you now to limit to 2 to 3 minutes so that more people get opportunity to speak. Yeah, thank you very much. Nadine, can you speak?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. First, thank you so much for arranging this. I'm in Egypt. I couldn't come to meet you all in person. I feel your pain, Oma. في pain on everyone. Though Deepak is not part of my family, and I had a lot of people who died from my family. But he has his own shine. He was one of the persons who literally affected me personally. He was the first one who held my hands for Toastmaster journey. I would never forget one of the contests. He left his own meeting on the break just to come and see me, to show me his face, to give me confidence that day. I do believe he's full of energy, joy, and one of the most positive creature on earth. God bless his soul. We could all see this in the TAC event on 2019. Every time you see the videos, you would remember him. I can't say a lot because my family are really worried. They thought there is something wrong, but he is one of the best really souls that I've ever met in my life. People from secret groups, Sagar mentioned, he was the crazy and the wise person at the same time. For the memory of a beautiful soul, I really respect him, love him, and inshallah when I come I'll meet you. I would request, if you don't mind, VP Menon, for a hug, because one day he said you are him in different shape. Anyway, God give all of us patience and thank you for this. I can't go anymore. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Nadine. I also see Ambuj there. Ambuj, are you there, Ambuj? Can you speak? Ambuj? Oh, Shrikant. Yeah, Shrikant is there. Yeah, Shrikant, go ahead, Shrikant.
Thank you, VP, and thank you, everyone. The first time I walked into a DTC meeting, it was Deepak, who was the president, and also he was the Toastmaster of the day, and it was a reverse meeting. Can you imagine this guy coming out, speaking on for things and running a meeting backwards? I was spellbounded. And from that moment, myself and Deepak really hit on. Whenever I wanted any help regarding my Toastmaster projects, Deepak was always available. But the thing which really stuck out of, which differentiated him, is the word differentiation. I would go to him and he would say, what is the different that you are trying to do? What is the take home you are giving to the audience? So every moment with him was a learning experience. He was so full of life. So when I and he was one of my closest friends in Toastmasters, and our friendship extended beyond Toastmasters. So when this news struck me, actually I had a conversation with him, and he said, yeah, I've been detected with cancer. I said, Deepak, just shut up, stop this, stop joking around. This is not the way. And he said, yeah, you're not ready to believe me. I said, Deepak, for somebody like you, I don't think you can take ill, and especially something like cancer. And after that, it was when he went back to India, we had a conversation a couple of times. He wanted me to visit him. He said, whenever you are in Delhi area, please do visit me. But then, you know, we human beings, I can say for myself, sometimes we just live in this imaginary world, and deep down you believe, no, nothing is going to happen to my friend. I mean, he's going to come back. And somewhere in my heart, I had a strong feeling that this guy he'll beat the cancer, he'll recover 100%, and he'll be back in Dubai. And we were having conversations so many times, myself, Ambuj, Deepak, Sandeep, we just hit off so nicely. Kiran is there, Adil Bhai is there. We have a small friends group. And Deepak would always, when he was putting up such a brave fight, I mean, I've learned this thing from him. I don't know what else can I say, because I'm unable to gather my thoughts. To be honest with you, I'm not ready to believe that Deepak is gone. Somehow I still feel that Deepak is going to be there. And quite honestly, I wanted to come this evening, but I couldn't muster up the courage, because I really don't want to believe this, that he's gone, that he's no more. It's to me personally, it's a huge loss, because I've really lost a very, very good friend. More than anybody, he was such a wonderful, wonderful human being. I don't know what else to say, because mere words cannot justify my feelings that I had for Deepak. I would affectionately call him not by Deepak, but call him Gulati Saab. I don't know this void, if I'll be able to ever overcome it. But I know for sure he was in pain, and I would just like to believe that wherever he is not in pain anymore. I don't know. Thank you so much for giving this, organizing this. I don't know. I have no more words to say. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shrikant. Ambuj, can you speak now?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
I never imagined in my life that I would come across a day where I would have to speak about Deepak in the past. But then, if I have to say something about him, what I would say was, I think he was one of the best human beings I've ever met in my life. I remember the first time I saw him in Toastmasters. I recently joined Toastmasters, and he was already part of the XCOM. And he was giving a speech, and that speech was so humorous. I was like mighty impressed by his speech delivery and the amount of humor he was able to bring in. As luck would have it, we even had a chance to work together in the XCOM. One unique quality about Deepak was like, you could always bank on him. You just like, if you call him and you said you need help, he was there for anything you asked. And I think I haven't seen someone as big a heart as what he had. He was like, I could pull his leg for like throughout the day, but then he would never get angry. Never he would get angry. And you know, he could make you laugh. He had his strange Punjabi accent, laid back attitude. But then there was something about him. Like we even after I left Dubai, came back to India, we were in touch. He came back to India. He said he's starting a business over here and stuff, and we were in touch over there. And even through this whole journey that he was going through and the conversations that we are having, he would give us that confidence that he would make it. No, never did I ever feel that as if he was losing hope or anything of that stuff. Even the last message on 9th May that he put up on Facebook, even there also, like, okay, now he's putting a message on Facebook. So come on, he's there. He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. And the biggest loss that I come across is I've never come across someone as close as a friend whom I've lost. And it is difficult to sink in this thing. All his memories, everything. And it's like when he was there, he made us all laugh. And when he's not there, he's made us all cry. That's what I have to sum up. Wherever he is, I pray that he's at peace. He's out of that, all the pain that he's gone through. And pray that his family gets all the strength to get over this difficult time that they are. Over to you, Veer.
Thanks, Ambuj. I'm reminded of Divya and Samira, actually, the fun we had during DTAC in Bahrain, right? I mean, in the middle of the night, midnight, we used to go out and I used to act as if I'm pressing the bell of other rooms or doing a knock and then run, and everybody would run. And then we got together and it was so much of fun. He was, and I also have seen this photo of him carrying Samira after she won, along with Samir, right? Samir GP. Would you like to speak, Divya and Samira? Divya? Anybody? So anybody, it's open, anybody who wish to speak here, wish to come. You could probably come this side, so it's easy for you to approach and speak. So whoever wish to speak can come this side. Yeah. We can't bring the mic there because for Zoom people, it's more clear when you are speaking from here.
Good evening, everybody. So I think it was 2010, correct me if I'm wrong, but 2010, I was VP membership for Dubai Toastmasters Club at that time. And Deepak, along with Adil and Sandeep, came for one of our meetings as a guest. And that was the first time I met Deepak. And later on, of course, I came to know he also works for Emirates like I do. And as I don't need to say anything more about his personality, all of us know, all of the people who've spoken know he was a fun-loving, large-hearted, very gentle soul. I had the privilege of knowing him for a very short period of time. And unfortunately, in the last few years, I dropped out of Toastmasters. I didn't really keep in touch, but that short period of time that I knew Deepak, I have some memories about him. All I can say is that, in our life, we come across a lot of people. Some people stay with us for a long time. Some people stay with us for a very short time. And even that short time, they touch you in a way that you cannot forget them. And Deepak was one such person. I was not aware of his condition. I was actually surprised when over the weekend I saw VP's post on Facebook, and it was shocking for me. And then I called up Adil and I learned about what Deepak was going through for the past year or so. And I was really sad, and I regret not keeping in touch with Deepak, not being able to talk to him when he was going through this terrible disease. But in a way, I think, as other people have said, he fought till the very end. And Deepak, wherever you are, I'm sure you will make that place cheerful, happy with your presence. And God bless you. God bless you. So, thank you.
Deepak was here last October, and I told him I'll pick you. We were supposed to meet in Al Nahda for chai. I said I'll come and pick you. He said no, I'll drive and come. And he drove and come. He had a sack. He was carrying a sack because of the surgery and all that. And he had come. He had finished a party somewhere, and that was probably the last picture we took together as a group outside that cafe in Al Nahda.
Good evening, everyone. I first saw Deepak in the 2014-15 contest season, and like Murad said, he made a mark. He's been doing that ever since. He put his heart and soul in everything that he did. He just wanted to make sure that everybody had the best show possible. I was just remembering the picture that you mentioned when he carried Samira. He was division director at the time. When he did DTAC, I was on the Sergeant Dance team. If you remember at the end of it all, when everyone's gone home, he was there cleaning up. That's who he was. One of us, just better. And he clearly loved his family fiercely. I mean, I don't know anybody else who has a tattoo of their kid on their arm. I've known what he was going through since March last year. I kept in touch with him on the phone and on WhatsApp. And we mentioned when he came down in October, I felt privileged that he wanted to spend some of his time with me. Turns out that's probably the only photo I actually have with him. When I spoke to him in March this year, he said his markers were down, he was doing better, and he was looking forward to that cousin's wedding that DTM Umar had mentioned. I was in India at the time also for a wedding, so I was really thrilled to hear about that. It was the last time I spoke to him. Which is why when I saw that message a couple of days ago, it cut real deep. Because I didn't know. He told me about that website as well. He wanted to use it to help others through their struggles, to use his life as an example. That would be my most enduring memory of him. Because despite everything he was going through, he still wanted to help others. His life was his lesson. Humility, of giving, as you'll see in all those pictures of wholehearted fun. But let his passing also be a lesson. When you go home today, grab hold of those you love, or give them a call. Tell them how much they mean to you. Tell them why you love them so. And if you don't have someone to go home to, well, I'm here. I could use a hug. So what I'm trying to say is this. I'm sure Deepak would be looking down from his golden yellow balcony in Barstool, and he would be smiling at how much he means to us. But I would give anything be able to say all this to his face. You're going to lose someone to celebrate with. Do it now. Make as many memories as you can. Sometimes life can be a little bitch. And those memories are all you have. So make them memories and not regrets. May we all be lucky enough to have people in our life as loved as Deepak was, is, will be. And we live long enough to cherish them, just not long enough to watch them grow. Deepak, I love you. I miss you. I hope I get a chance to say all of these to your face. I hope I do enough courage to fight for that. Until then, your audience has changed, but everything else stays the same. After tonight, may the applause never die. Wish you the best of us.
Good evening, everyone. I didn't first meet Deepak in Toastmasters. I first met Deepak, I came to know him through the NLP coaching trainings that VP's company does. And then Deepak was included into the WhatsApp group that is there for all the people who do the course. And I remember he was still working in Emirates at that time. And one day, Deepak posted his message in the group. Guys, I'm sitting in the office, I'm really burnt with life and work and everything. And I need a break, I need a solution. Any ideas? And I remember everyone else in the group telling him this, telling him that, and especially Hashim. Hashim gave him not just a tip, but a series of tips. And Deepak said, yeah, we'll go Hashim. And a little while after that, Deepak quit his job. And he started a yellow balcony. Then Deepak came into improv, which was again a brainchild of DP and UP, and that's why I got closer with Deepak. And Deepak and me he played an integral role in the beginning when we were trying to give shape to improv and Dubai Improv Tribe. And as VP and even DTM said, Deepak was full of ideas. And Deepak's ideas were not average. No. Deepak's ideas were always outstanding. If something can be done, how can it be done in such a way that people will remember the way you did it compared to everyone else who could do it? That was Deepak. And Deepak exemplified that when he was the DTM chair of 2019. He came up with the idea, communicating happiness. Okay, that's the theme. And then he said, let's have a happiness chair. What? What's a happiness chair? Nobody had heard of a happiness chair. And then Deepak comes to me and says, Robert, I have an idea. You know, I'm the DTM chairperson, and we're going to do this. This is the theme, and I want you to do it, and I'm going to be there with you. So what, Deepak? What are we going to do? I've never heard of this role in any DTM. What am I going to do? Don't worry, I'll be with you. And Deepak being Deepak leader who did not just lead, but he would serve also. So Deepak would call me for meetings. He said, Robert, this is the plan I have, but what do you think about this? And most of the times I would be blank. I would be, Neha, think about it. Let me know if you have any ideas which will make it better. We can do it. The thing that my abiding memory of the DTM 2019 and working with Deepak was, he was in charge, but he always let me believe I was in charge. He let me believe that happiness chair was my idea. That it was all my doing. But now I realize, if it had been someone else, I wouldn't have had the freedom to do all that I did in the ways that we did. It was because it was Deepak. He, in his own inimitable way, let me and my team shine while he stood back. And that was Deepak. Now, I'll be a hypocrite if I say that everything was hunky-dory with me and Deepak, because we had a parting of ways due to creative differences on how we agreed that the improv idea should take off, and so we amicably parted. And then last December, I think it was you who told him that he should come out and reach out. And Deepak came out in all the groups that we were a part of, and he posted about his situation and his status, and he said, I need help. And I immediately answered Deepak's plea for help, and I sent him a WhatsApp message. But Deepak, being Deepak, did not just send back a WhatsApp message. This is the message that Deepak sent. That was in December. Deepak invited me home to Hyderabad to come spend time with him, have a meal in his home, because I was due to go down to Chennai to spend some time there. And I said, I'll try. I didn't. And then I saw Deepak's post in LinkedIn, which I refused to read, because as Srikant said, I didn't want to think that it was going to happen the way it happened. But it's happened, and he's not with us. What did I learn from my friendship with Deepak? And the way he exited is this. You know, death is something that all of us here in this room, we're going to meet it at some point in our lives. It's a door that we have to open and walk. What I learned is, I wish that when it's my time, that I'll have the same courage that Deepak had to put his hand on that latch and open the door, walk through the way he did. I'm sure when Deepak walked through the door and closed it, on the other side, the hall was resounding with applause. Yeah, a champion has arrived. I wish that all of us will have that same courage when it's our time. Walk through it. Thank you, Deepak, for leaving this lesson for us. Thank you.
Thanks, Robert. Before we continue with more speakers, I would like to play a small video which Sagar had made. Some of you may have seen it playing in the beginning, but many of you who came in later did not. I would like to request Ramesh to help me with the video so that the sound also is heard. Thanks. And then after the video, we will continue with the speakers. Okay, thank you very much. Anybody from online, if you wish to speak, you can just raise your hands. Use the Imran. Okay, Imran, you can speak. Can you unmute here, Oscar?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Imran.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My first interaction with this beautiful world of Toastmasters was Deepak Gulati. I was just searching that which one is the best club in UAE, and I got the number of the Dubai Toastmasters Club. I got the contact number. I called the person. He told me that he's Deepak. I told him that I'll come in the evening. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. After a month again, I called him. I told him I want to come. He told me on 1st of January 2018, we have our meeting. So I went there, and that was my first interaction. I became the member of that club over there, the Dubai Toastmasters Club, my home club. And immediately after that, there were the club contests. I also participated in humorous contests as well. And Deepak was the one who mentored me over there. And in March 2018, it was my ice-breaking speech that I had to deliver. And I wrote a speech. I shared it with Deepak. And in the evening, he called me. That ice-breaking speech was for about 6 minutes. He gave me 40 minutes call, reviewed each and every single line. And after that, he told me a number of other things as well. And my wife was also listening at that. It was evening time. And when she asked, who is he? I told him that this is one of the top guns in the Dubai Toastmasters Club. And just look at that. He is giving me 40 minutes time for my speech. And not only he gave me that time, he told me, Imran, make the changes and send me the revised draft. We'll discuss this again. And the next evening, again, he called me. He gave me another 20 minutes. So just imagine, for an ice-breaking speech of 6 minutes, this gentleman gave me 60 minutes time period. And not only that, after my speech, he gave me a separate evaluation later on over the phone. He encouraged me a lot and number of things. I must say that I have learned a lot. Whenever I speak at any forum, I always talk about this one gentleman, and that is Deepak Gulati. That he is my first mentor in the Dubai Toastmasters Club. And I wouldn't take much of the time, but I must say that after that, at every occasion, be it our area contests, be it our division contests, wherever I performed, every time he used to mentor me. He used to teach me a number of things as well. And not only that thing, he also advised me one more thing. Once he sent me a message. He said, I used to call him Guruji, and he used to call me Imran Bhai. And he told me, Imran Bhai, do one thing, and that is that please reduce your weight. It will help you as well. Please don't mind this thing, I started reducing my weight as well. But this is the level that he used to take care of every single person that was in touch. Today, all of us are in pain. And it's really unbelievable to know that Deepak is no more with us. But I'm telling you that Deepak is living in our hearts. And we know that there are only very few people who live more than their physical lives. I'm proud that Deepak is one of those guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Imran. We have some members of the Dubai Toastmasters Club who joined the club after Deepak has moved to India. They actually didn't have a chance to, like Devi and Nisha, they didn't have a chance to meet him in person. But after seeing what people have to say about Deepak, after seeing all the pictures, I'm sure they're getting an idea what type of a person Deepak was. Yeah. And if you see the pictures, we had tons of pictures of Deepak. From 20 years back pictures to today's pictures, you'll see the same Deepak, Okay, physically he has changed a little bit, but that young, enthusiastic boy inside, that vibrant character is always there throughout. Manish, would you like to come? I hate to say this, Manish, but let's stick to 2 to 3 minutes because, yeah, time is a constraint. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Manish. I'm from Boat Club, where Deepak was mentor. It will be difficult to put in 2 3 minutes of what my relation was with Deepak. I got to work with him when he was the division director, and I was the one maintaining the slides and everything. And by the time we were done with the contest, he was not Deepak for me. He was my elder brother. We had no friendship. It was a brotherhood bond which we had. And our brotherhood was not just restricted to Toastmasters. We used to go out, and I think everyone has spoken how he had love for food, he had love for drinks, and we used to have a shisha also. So many a times, we would just be sitting and having a shisha and sipping chai, and he would be like, he used to call me Londa. And if you know what Londa is, like a boy. So he's like, Londa, tu shadi kab kar raha hai? He's like, when are you getting married? I'm like, why are you asking me this? He's like, I want to attend my brother's wedding. I want to dance in your wedding. I'm like, there is still time. It's like, come on, you're 30 already. And now I'm 33, and there were so many instances he used to keep saying, when are you getting married? I want to dance. And now when I got to know, no, he's not there. I don't know who's gonna, be dancing instead of him. And I resonate with what Vinod just said some time back. Like this whole episode, I was in touch with him. We used to go out. We used to have our chai sessions, shisha sessions, and everything. I remember he was so creative. Like, we were just sitting in a shisha cafe and he saw someone playing carom. He's like, you know what? We'll create the world's biggest carom board tournament. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah. And next day he started emailing me saying, this is what I've thought and all. And I just didn't reply instantly. And he's like, you're so lazy. I'm like, no, I will respond, and we'll make sure that we do some event in that capacity. But that never happened. And coming back to what Vinod said, this whole episode has left regret in my heart. Why? Because I did lose touch with him when he had shifted back to India, because personally I was going through something of my own, and I couldn't keep in touch with him. And in Jan, I think it was in Jan or Feb, he messaged me saying, Bhai ki yaad nahi aati, and that means you're not missing your brother. And I was like, no, I miss you a lot, and I'm hoping you come back. We can go out for a chai session, or we go for a drive. We just talk about life. And when I last exchanged message on his birthday, and he said, yeah, I'm fine, I'm fighting, I'll be fine and all. And now when I saw VP's message, and then I just see that I just have those WhatsApp chats to look at, and I don't know if I'll just send him a voice note, there will be a voice coming back, responding to me. I've lost my elder brother. I used to say Londa. I've lost my Londa. I don't know if I just send him a message now, will he respond? I don't know. I don't know if he'll not be there for my marriage also. I don't know when it will happen, but he will not be there. And I have this regret of not being there with him during his painful journey of cancer, what he was going through. I miss you, bro. And I know you, wherever you are having a good time with people over there, and we are very lucky to have you there. unlucky at the moment because you're not with us. I miss you, bro.
Thanks, Manish. Nimi? Rania, once we finish Nimi and Karthikeyan, will come to you here.
Hi friends. Well, Deepak and me, when we talk, it's a pakka Mumbaikar and a Delhiite speaking, you know. We don't speak in English, we speak only in Hindi. Some say it's our national language, but for us, it was a language that always connected both of us. And I don't know from where he had all this respect. He always used to say Nimmi ji, Ha ji, Bolo ji. And being a Mumbaikar, he only used to, you know. It's he who taught me how respected he gives in that Hindi language. And always, even today, when, you know, I go back to the messages that we shared. In fact, there's one thing that connects both of us. We both share birthday back to back. So he's on 24th March and I'm on 25th. So the last conversation that I had with him was, of course, on my birthday. And I definitely wished him and he wished me, and the energy that he had. He was not interested in knowing, you know, how my health was. He was giving more importance to how my family is, and like Shibu Baiko Bolo. This is the kind of energy that man had. And I was lucky because me, VP, Bosco, and Deepak worked as one team. We worked multiple instances. He was part of the extension chair. And I remember him doing much more than probably what we could do. The most difficult thing with Deepak was to make him stand still for a photograph. You know, we never get him to stand straight. He always had the weird expressions on his face, which always had that masti. And the energy that he had was something that I want to take back and I want to have all my life. And Deepak, wherever you are, you tried communicating happiness in 2019. That was the last time we had a physical DTAC. And I think it's an irony that we lost him on the day of DTAC, right? The first day of DTAC, we heard this news. So when he turned 40, he said he wants to be naughty. He was naughty all this while. And I'm sure there he's naughty. And I and Shivu can definitely endorse that he's communicating happiness there with all of his golden girls there. So thank you, VP, for sharing the picture of Deepak when you met him last. It is going to be always etched in my heart. And love you, boy. Wherever you are, please keep communicating happiness.
They say, from God we come. And that's the premise of life. We all know. But then sometimes when someone goes away, the question pops up in your mind. Why? Why God? I think with Deepak, that's the question that's on our minds. Why? I worked with Deepak through Toastmasters. I was the area director. He was the member of the club. And then when I became division director, then he was a member of the area, the division team. And those were the days when the events in Toastmasters used to be very protocol driven. And when I had to organize these events, I used to always have people take care of the MC part. I very clearly remember the first time I gave him that responsibility of MCing. He I told him, you take care of the MC. He said, okay. And then I was taking care of other stuff. And then one day he called me and said, hey, you told me to take care of this and we should meet. And when I went to meet him, it was at the Emirates, the atrium place. He had a guitar with him. I said, what is this guy? He said, no, I'm going to do this. And I said, no, this is too fast to me. He said, no, I will do this, and then A, B, and C, and D, and E, and F, and it was like going on and on. I said, you have only 5 minutes. I said, no, I will do everything. All this can be. I knew that moment, here was a guy whose limitless ideas. His mind doesn't work like how we immense amount of ideas with him. So from that moment, I decided I will not interfere. I just leave everything to him, and then I'll, pray to God that everything goes okay. And believe me, every single event we used to have, it used to be a big hit because it had nothing to do with the TMI protocols. It was like a movie production for us, a stage play production for us. I very clearly remember that division event which we had at the Emirates Auditorium, and he suddenly, I think it was Abdul Khalik, and he was also a part, he was not a part of that team. Suddenly he also joined the team, and he came up with this crazy mask, and he was crawling all over the place on the stage, and it was so much of fun. And he's someone, there's no words to describe this guy. There's absolutely no word to describe him. I can only say one thing. He's the guy who introduced me to chicken achar. The best dish you can have with a pint of beer. And trust me, on that day, I always have, if I'm having a beer, I always have chicken achar. And me and my wife, many times we used to bump into each other at, there's a famous waterfall near our place where we live. And when we bump into each other, we'll always find that chicken achar on the plate and say, see, I told you this is a good one. So, I mean, he's a guy who, he brought happiness, like you said. He brought happiness in different ways. I mean, you cannot, small things, big things, whatever he did, there was an element of happiness. People around him felt happy. And I always, liked him for the expansiveness of the ideas that was there. And I know for some reason he used to call me Bhaiya. Either I look very old, but it meant brother, and it never meant anything to me in those days when he used to call me. But today, when I think back, he wanted to say something and I didn't recognize it. And sometimes, when you hear this news of somebody passing away, for me, when I saw that message, my mind went numb. I think that's the feeling I would say. It went numb. I didn't know how to react to this. And you see this, a lot of messages and tributes being put on social media, Facebook, and all that. You look at it, you also want to do, but then, somewhere deep inside, you're not believing that he's gone. It is as if that if you make a tribute, then you have acknowledged that he's no more. And I couldn't get that courage to do it. It is very few people lead this type of thing. I think for me, my experience is that the last time I had an experience like this was when my dad passed away. It took me about 15 days to accept that he's no longer there. And I mean, it takes, I don't know what it takes for a person to be like this, but that is what I think Deepak Gulati had. And he passed to everybody. All I can think is that he's a guy, when he knocked at the doors of heaven and the gates open, the party has started there. God, and let him bless all of us to live life the way he lived.
Rania, can you speak?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I don't know, it's very hard actually after hearing everyone speaking, and I know Most of you have known him for so long. For me, because we used to meet back in DTAX, and I've known Deepak for so many years. And you see so many people in your life, and he was one of those people, you just struck you from the first minute. Something attractive about him, his personality, his smile. And we always had this kind of camaraderie. Again, like what Nimi said, he's born on the 24th, Nimi 25th, I'm on the 26th. And imagine with everything that he was going through, he wished me my birthday last March, and I wished him, of course, on his birthday. And he was so full of life and so full of happiness, even though it was what he was going through. And to me, it's so personal because I lost my mom to the same cancer he had. And he was always checking on her during her sickness. And during the time when we had the happiness detox, it was during the first months when I knew that my mom, she was diagnosed back in December 2017. Then we had the preparation 2018, and then the 2019. That was basically near the end of it. And he was always checking on her and how she's doing. And he always kept on telling me, Rani, always remember her, in her good health, with her smiling. And he always kept on reminding me of this, even when she passed away. And when you told me back a year ago about his sickness, it really struck me like a blow because, I've been through that, and I was so hopeful. And I had this conviction that he is going to pull through. He's going to basically survive and, overcome this. And I kept on texting him over the months, and he always telling me that I'm fine. And he was always optimistic, and he never tells you about his pains, even though he's in deep pain. And the last time I texted him was about three weeks ago, and I was happy because his scan was good and the tumor was shrinking everywhere. And please pray for me, sister, and all this kind of talk. And I didn't really see that coming at all. I didn't see that coming. And just a few days back, I was checked on him from Khan Murad, and he said he's in bad shape. But I didn't see that coming. And when I heard the news, like you said, on the first day of DTAC, that night was so horrible. Because I still remember that DTAC, the last DTAC we had in person. I know Shannon is in the room, Fahim is in the room. Maybe you guys can remember that night when we were lost in finding judges, as always. And he said, you're all tired and hungry. Let's go to my room. And he took us to his room in the Meridian. And a banquet of mixed grill, all this kind of food. He was a foodie guy. And it was me, Shannon, Devlal, Samir, I think, Manmohan, Archie, many people, all of us packed in this small room and kept on eating and laughing. That's Deepak, wherever he is, there's always joy and smile and laughter. He can turn any miserable situation into a funny situation. That's the guy he was. And I really envy you guys because you've had more interaction with him than me, only once a year or twice a year when we used to meet in Exicom meetings or council meetings or on chat. But again, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality and the memories we have. And I like to repeat what he told me when I lost my mom. Remember him with the smile, the best form he was, because he always remained in our hearts. A brother, I lost a brother on Sunday. I lost a dear brother and a friend. And I'll never forget you, Deepak. I loved you, boy, and you'll always be in my heart, my young brother. I don't have brothers, but he was a brother of mine. Bless you, brother, wherever you are.
We have some restrictions on the venue timing, so I'll take the last two speakers, Divya and Mahar, for some quick words. Thank you.
So unlike Nimiji, he used to call me Puttar. So that's why I used to call him Dada. And whoever clicked that picture, my compliments to that person, because to get him to stand with a straight face is practically impossible. But whoever did that managed it. But what I'm trying to tell you is that Samir echoes this with me. Is he always propagated the fact that you should keep that child alive, and he did that for. The first time he introduced me was that I share her husband's name, and that's all I share. So, yes, I think the magnanimity of his ideas, the expansiveness of his heart, is all known to us. But what's most important is that he was available for all those who needed him. And that's a lesson we all should take. And for as long as we grace this Mother Earth, let's honor him by touching as many lives as we can. That will be really honoring the spirit that he was, and continue to spread smiles and communicate happiness and be the ambassadors for what he stood for. That's it, and we'll miss you, Dada. Will you? And yeah, one last thing. If he was sitting here, with a bus kar raha hai, chalo chai pee gaye. So yeah.
Yeah, he would have definitely said that.
Good evening. So I have a habit of calling everyone sir. And whenever I meet Mr. Deepak, I would say, Mr. Deepak, sir, sir. And he would say, please, no sir, Deepak, Deepak. But I could never only call him Deepak, because we have a saying in Arabic, "Al-ayn ma tal'an al-hajab," meaning your eyebrows are always above your eyes. Your eyes will never go above your eyebrows, and he's always up here. In 2017, I gave a speech in a contest, and I saw his bald head in the audience, and I thought it will be a good addition to my speech. So I added it, and I won that contest. And I think today he's in the spirit realm, so he's not completely gone. He will visit us in our dreams, because I think that's what souls do. They visit you. He's not gone. And tonight, we'll all dream of Mr. Deepak, because he'll come to each and every one of us and say, you spoke too much, like Divya said. So, yes, that's it from my side.
Yeah, hi. Yes, sir, please come. We'll take this gentleman as the last speaker, because I think they will throw us out otherwise, and Deepak wouldn't want that to happen. So,
Deepak also will. Really, first time I met him, I just want to tell about how I'm being here. I never met him till 2019. I was a budding Toastmaster. My club member said, you recently joined, we already joined, come for a DTM. So I registered it and I went there. First day is almost about to finish. I said, what happened? How so much big organization, sorry, big event is who's handling and who's organizing it. So from the morning, I was keep on asking one of my club member. He said, just watch till the first day, all the people movement, and then you will find out who is the event organizer and who's the host for this. And finally, the day ended, first day, and I just, is he the one who does this function? That is how you spotted out. Because the way he presents himself in front of the huge crowd, which made me to connect with him. And that was the first day. And the 3 days I've been watching him. Like someone else said about, we heard about the DTAC, and the next DTAC we have here this year, and we received his last messages. So I was very touched about that. So first I saw him, and the next message is that about his death. That's why I'm being present here. And only one thing, what they say, the dance you do in your life and the running you do in your life to get all the things. When it stops, the people who gather in and around you will tell you who you are. And it is really present, like many people who have presented over physically and through online. I hope he'll be living with us forever. Thank you.
in fact, this reminds me of a friend from Bombay. She wrote to me saying, who's this Deepak? She doesn't know him, but she's been seeing his post on my page. And she says, he seems to be an amazing guy. I mean, you know, from the feedback and from the photos and from what people were talking about it. So I don't think it's possible for everybody to be a Deepak. Deepak was different. Yeah, Deepak was definitely different. And like Vinod very aptly put, Vinod, are you here? I really loved what you said. So the message here is that let's not make it late. Yeah, there's so many things that I probably wanted to tell Deepak, but never knew that this would happen. Yeah, much younger than me. I didn't say it, and today I wish I had a chance to have a chai with him and talk about stuff. But there is Deepak has left us with a lot of learnings, lots to learn from the way he lived his life, the way he conducted himself, and and believe me, this bugger will never be forgotten. Yeah, he'll never be forgotten. Yeah, and I wish to thank everyone who joined online and also all the people here. I know there's a lot more people who wanted to probably attend, but this was a last minute thing and maybe they couldn't. But a big thanks to all of you for being here with us today and for this coming together to speak about the book. The recording is done. We will be sending the recording to, sharing it and also sending it to his family, etc. So thank you very much and good night. Thank you, folks. You're online. See you. Take care. Bye-bye.